Hey everyone, welcome to the panel discussion on the climate stage. Ooh, bit of feedback there. We're just getting set up, but welcome. Today we have two very famous individuals. They just gave presentations earlier on. I hope everybody caught it. Maybe we can give a little bit of an introduction, guys. Your name, who you work for, and where you're sitting today. So, Ahmed, perhaps you can introduce yourself and where you work and where you're sitting.
Thank you, Rus Mahmoud Libad. Actually, nowadays I'm sitting at Riyadh. I'm working for
Okay,
Nokia uh,
cool.
as a civil expert for pre-sales, and also I work for a lot of companies before, whether in GSM and construction, and even for BIM.
Very good. Thank you very much, Ahmed. And it is now afternoon, I guess, in Riyadh at this moment in
Yes,
time.
actually, we confuse nowadays because sometimes you have to wear jacket. It's very cold, and sometimes it's transfer now to another temperature.
No, indeed. And Omar, welcome. But maybe you can give a quick introduction for our listeners there today.
Hi, Ross. How you doing? Actually, today I'm in Dubai with our clients here in the Middle East. So it was heavy raining, as Ahmed said, in Riyadh and here in Dubai
That's
as
right.
well. So myself, as Omar Habiz, a co-founder and digital delivery expert at We Group.
Yeah,
My background in civil engineering, and through my career, I work in different construction industry like oil and gas, commercial, residential buildings. My expertise lays on the 4D and 5D BAM, project controls, and data analytics. I'm
yeah.
really enjoying to be here today, Ross. I always enjoying your company whenever we discuss digital
No,
construction topic.
yes, we have many conversations in the past already, Omar.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you today. But okay, so let's get into a bit of a discussion here. Ahmed, your presentation today was on is BIM worth it for small buildings? And in Middle Eastern terms, with the amount of construction going on in Saudi Arabia at the moment, for example, I guess there isn't too many small buildings. So, what in your mind would a small building be? Is it in value or in area?
Actually, BIM get a very huge step for the last few years at Saudi Arabia, and even in Middle East.
Yeah,
But most commonly for the large project running nowadays, like Qiddiya, Diriyah, Red Sea, Neom, all are
yeah,
applying BIM.
yeah,
But actually, there is still a gap for a small building.
yeah,
But from government side, they already take a step and encourage all consultant office to apply starting from this year
yeah,
all new submission for as a BIM.
yeah,
So I think this is a good opportunity. In my presentation, I try to show the benefits of BIM, not only because there is a traditional or mutual understanding BIM for
yeah,
complex or large scale only, why I
yeah,
should use this for
yeah,
small buildings. That's why I try to illustrate this could improve not only design stage, it could
yeah.
also improve construction stage and even asphalt stage, and
Indeed.
give a lot of benefits for both end, which is client or the company itself who is producing the work. It will improve their capability,
Yeah,
capacity,
yeah.
quality, all what we are talking about.
I think
So
I think the message is the same, Ahmed, whether it's a small building or a large multi-asset development. BIM brings efficiencies and quality to the project, especially in the process of sharing information and communicating with the different team. And I guess, Omar, from your presentation today, you spoke a lot about that information structure and the communication of information across, whether it is up to the client or across stakeholder groups. You're on mute there, Omar. Just let me jump in there. You're okay.
I tried to, yeah. So actually, I agree with what Ahmed saying in terms of the BIM implementation, the client push in Saudi Arabia. To be honest, it's all about the process, as we discussed many times before.
Yeah.
And as I'm working now with the clients to develop their enterprise dashboards, integrating the BIM within that, and even the 4D and 5D. Whenever we start from the BIM process or the BIM
Yeah.
project. For
Yeah.
the clients, it's all about the right process to get the real benefits. And we could see hundreds of BIM model, but actually it's not BIM model. It's just 3D
Visualizations.
3D visualization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, many guys think that just the VM is the out, as long as this product or the 3D model is out, get out from the tech lab, from Revit, so this is a BIM model. So actually, it's not true there, and
No.
we trying to establish the proper bespoke process for every company that tolerate for their business process to get the most benefits of, like, not no I would say even we have a standard process and we have that, but no process fits all the companies, fits all the size. It should be tolerated. And yeah, I heard you many times when you talk in your podcast about that. And
Yeah.
guys, it's not about only getting the model there and yes, road for the contractor phase or the production phase. It's about the benefits you got behind the scene from the BIM model from all the stages. It's not only the final product you're using in terms of shop drawing and so on.
And I think that's a key message here today, that it's, if someone is producing information and that information is able to be distributed and used by other stakeholders, you've created some efficiency in the process of your project. But if you're creating information and someone else then needs to sit down to understand and to dissect that information in order to create their information, it means it's a very slow process for decision making and a very slow process for other stakeholder groups. So that's why I think, Ahmed, when you mentioned small buildings, I think BIM has a huge space in the small buildings area.
Yes.
Once we get very efficient in our BIM understanding and our process, as Omar says, then small buildings will become super efficient in how quickly we can design and turn them around from design to execution to handover, I believe.
Sure. Totally agree.
Yeah, and so I think in that sense, as we begin to mature the industry and our clients and the stakeholders around the table, we'll begin to see these efficiencies improve on projects. And there was a couple of questions in some of the presentations today about the return on investment when it comes to BIM and softwares and training. And I don't know, I will ask each of you, but for me, I find that the return is massive. The efficiencies it creates, the clarity it creates is huge. So what's your experience, for example, Ahmed, on that return on investment to go BIM or to not go BIM?
Actually, this is also part from my presentation today, which I remarked as a challenge to how to transform the mindset of people. Why I should pay for this fantasy 3Ds and this stuff. I already have this 2D drawing, and there is Arabic fulla.
Yeah.
Why I should invest much money and buy this
Yeah.
license for such nothing. So this is very important point which I illustrated in my presentation: return on investment. If you calculated now, the startup of implementing them may be costly for training, upgrading devices, license, but as long as you have full library for your work or daily work, it will be more fast and efficient for your daily work from company part, and even from the client part. Maybe he will pay in the design stage extra than this 2D drawing, but he will make a return on investment on bill of quantity. It will be fully prepared,
Yeah.
and also better quality. No reconstruction work will be done because better cooperation and collaboration. So all this return on investment, if he calculates this return on investment, he will at the end see he make a big saving from his traditional way, just to
Yeah.
the this full one.
And
So
yeah, thank you, Ahmed. And I agree. I use this old example of, if I measure a foundation at concept, I need to measure the foundation again at schematic. I'll need to measure the same foundation again at detailed design. I'll need to measure the same foundation again at bill of quantities. I'll need to measure the same foundation again at change management. And now, how many times have I repeated the remeasurement of that foundation? Whereas, if the model is good quality and I've communicated my needs, then I never measure the foundation. The foundation is designed by the designers, the engineers. I'm only using their information in my process. But Omar, over to you. What is your experience in this way, in terms of that return on investment for BIM or not to BIM?
Yeah, so actually, Ross, in our previous conversation, we discussed something very related, and I was reading a very interesting article from Autodesk, and they're doing kind of a measurement. They're looking back, retrospective, and looking at the benefits of BIM after implementing. We are not saying now we just implement today, and let's tell the customer what he or the client what we're gonna expect.
Yeah,
And I would say, if I remember the number correct, so the percentage was they did a survey for it, which would be a huge report. There was a kind of 40 page or something. So they said, okay, the benefits or the ROI on the investment, guys, we are trying to solve a pain. So BIM here to solve to solve or to provide solution for client pain. And let's consider from that survey, they're saying that the pains maybe the pains may be related to the over budget, the lack of productivity, and even the managing the spending hour on the project, and project delays, and you were saying the wastages. Just the first six I'm picking up here. If the client
yeah,
has an issue related to productivity, wastage, managing the project hours, the delays, I think this is a real painful points here. So he said, okay, the ROI on this sense will depend on our report. There's 80% of supporting as a client to manage the budget. The bill will help you if you have a structure, if you have a process. You got more than 80%. And they said related to the hour consumption and the managing hours for weekly labors and reporting it to that 35%. And for the project delay, support the project to get to be on time much earlier. And here's saying that it increased the efficiency was 20%. And we discuss about the process, how the BIM supporting the process in terms of facilitate the integration and coordination between the different software. They said 39%. And for the things related to the wastage, they said they supported the project with 30%. I could share that report if I remember the number correct, but it's really important that it's really important whenever you are working with the client, you know what is the pain he has. So then you are facilitating the BIM to solve it. You are not BIM just
yeah,
to BIM. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
a magic solution. You button there, everything gonna work for you there.
That's an important point, I think, that BIM, as you mentioned, is a process, and the process is there to find solutions to the pain and the problems that clients are having. So understand your client's needs and pains, and then implement a process that best facilitates those pains, removing those pains. And that can be a software, it can be an improved BIM workflow, etc. So that's quite an important task and point. A couple of interesting questions coming in, and we've 5 minutes left before we go to our next break. But Eamon just has a question on 5D BIM implementation. Could the panel share the insights on the best software for executing 5D BIM effectively. And I find this an interesting point because I know, Omar, we've discussed it in the past, and then, you know, what exactly is 5D? It depends on, you know, what stage of the project life cycle you're in and which stakeholder group you come from. You know, are you the client side? Are you the contractor? Are you the special supplier? Are you managing project controls? Are you preparing documentation, or are you preparing estimates? So one of the questions relates to the differences between Synchro and Costex. Now, I haven't used Synchro before, I must add, but I know, Omar, you guys have used Synchro. I'm a Costex user because we prepare estimates. But Omar, your experience in terms of Synchro and 5D, maybe you can give some insights.
Actually, I'm a 5D instructor at the grad as well. Like, I'm an literature at the Zerata Institute using CostX, so I'm using the
Okay,
CostX as well.
excellent.
Yeah, so just for I really agree with you, Ross, when it comes of with software. Like, it's really about which service you are doing. Are you a contractor? Are you a design? Are you? It depends really on what you really your side of the game, and as well what you are providing. Because for you, if the cost is just the cash flow, and you know, just tracking the spend over time and that, so this is still good understanding of the cost management, but this is not really the real word of the 5D. Like we have discussed that before. Again, Ross, remember saying 5D is before 3D, guys. So when we say the 5D, starting from the B stage, was Cosmos and Corrosive vehicles specialized in this area. So you could start early and engage them early to understand your needs, and then you have I start with you in the cost breakdown structure, starting with the cost elements and try to coding and standardize. It depends all their workflow. But for me, I would say Vico Office from this guy's Trimble, and the other guy Synchro and Costex. For me, I prefer Costex is the best. Synchro has a very good software, but start in the early stage. It still is just 3 years of development. It's still very early to be engaged. Now it's very like the ARB is not really managing the full cycle from the cost management perspective, but Costex do. So from my perspective, Costex is the best tool for that.
Yeah, it really comes down, I think, to understanding what your delivery is as a company or a stakeholder. As I mentioned, we use Costex because we work in the pre-construction design stage mainly. We prepare estimates, cost plans, all of that, bills of quantities, and we use Costex as our preferred tool. But there's many different tools out there at the moment, all offering something a little different, a little unique. Some have qualities, some have issues, but there's no one kind of shoe fits all here, I'm afraid. You will have to investigate that yourself. But thank you very much for the questions. It was a super engagement. Any final comments, guys? I think we're running. The clock is running against us now. How do you see the industry, for example, in the next year or two, Ahmed? What about you in Riyadh? How are you seeing the industry develop in the next year or two? What will be the interesting changes there?
Actually, for larger scale, خلاص يعني it's already been implemented in all project nowadays, and it's became mandatory, not as the past. So I think this area also will be start developing. But my point, the gap still for a small project. This is what I'm discussing today, and I believe together we need to deliver the message for this part also to support the digital transformation program from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is also a very supportive point that it's going very fast the past 5 years. Most of the things are going digitalized nowadays, supporting with the 5G implementation, and even there is a plan for upcoming few years for 6G also.
Yeah.
So I believe this area will start improving more and more faster as more than as we imagine.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much, Ahmed. Final comment, Omar, short and sweet. We are out of time, but final comment to you.
So just to say here, Ross, that in the past we've seen BIM is a very fancy word. We don't have that there, and that now, guys, BIM is mandatory. We are now talking about robotics and AI and machine learning, and all that need a structured data, need a proper data to be managed. So that's my final thought here, Ross. I hope that you get the message there.
Yeah, it's very much appreciate the discussion, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you very much, Ralph. Over to you, so to jump in and cut the cord and disconnect us. We don't know how that all that technology works on your end.